You are listening to GameBreak, brought to you by HNE.
Welcome to the GameBreak musical game holiday special. That's right, I'm going to talk to you about the musical games coming out this holiday season that you want to consider purchasing. My name is Nathaniel Stormblade, and I'm going to start with the one that came out first, Rock Band 2. Rock Band 2 is Bluetooth and USB controlled. Now, what's Bluetooth is the drums and the guitars, and the mic is still USB because capabilities to transfer in the air of a microphone aren't really that good yet. If you go online and try to buy one and then try to use it, you'll notice there's some lag time and inconsistencies, and we're not going to get into those details. But then there's also Guitar Hero World Tour, which recently came out. Now, Guitar Hero World Tour uses Bluetooth as well, and the mic is USB. So what's really the difference between the two? We'll get into that, as well as we're going to talk about Wii Music and Rock Revolution, which are the big four this holiday season. Now, there are some other lesser-known songs, but frankly, we're not going to bother. Those are novelties as far as I'm concerned. The games I mentioned are the big boys. Now, let's start with Rock Band 2. Rock Band 2 is Rock Band 1 with a music editor, and pretty much that's it. Not that great, but if you come and realize you played Rock Band 1 originally, and the fact that you could import for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 your music from Rock Band 1 to Rock Band 2, then you just doubled up your music collection. That is probably the largest perk between Rock Band 2 and Guitar Hero World Tour. Because Guitar Hero World Tour, you can't do that. Now, as far as Guitar Hero World Tour is concerned, it has just come out. There hasn't been any type of previous release where they've released drums and a microphone or whatever. And there are already problems. Now, that aside, and the 6-week waiting period to have them repaired, the first things first, if you bought Guitar Hero or are going to buy Guitar Hero, the drums may not be sensitive enough or are too sensitive. There's going to be a release that will be software you put on your PC, and there will be some type of connection where you hook it up with your drums and you'll be able to adjust the sensitivity. Okay? I'm just letting you know right away. Now, Guitar Hero has a music creation feature. It also has the ability for people to upload their files to a network and download other people's files. And we're talking music, nothing else. And of course, the downloadable content in both games is par for the course. Now, people ask, why should I purchase this game in comparison to this game for this system? Well, first off, the Wii has limited capabilities in both games. If the Wii is the only thing you have, and then the games are great, but the Rock Band 2 version of the game is incredibly dumbed down or slightly feature modified from the versions of the PS3 and Xbox 360. Now, not to say that isn't true of the Guitar Hero World Tour, but the capabilities are strictly limited vastly more on Rock Band 2 than in Guitar Hero World Tour. The Wii cannot take its music from number 1 and put it on number 2 in Rock Band. It just doesn't happen. Now, Guitar Hero World Tour, because Nintendo is set up a certain way, their music content, downloadable and whatnot, and for GH Tunes, which is the downloadable content feature that Guitar Hero has, it's set through the Wii Shop. And it's sort of a backdoor in comparison to the PlayStation Network store or the Xbox Network store. So, just letting you know, heads up. And of course, the Wii Network uses Wii Points, the Xbox Network uses Microsoft Points, and PlayStation Network uses money. So, if you have a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, why should you get one of the games or the other? Well, frankly, Rock Band 2 is preferable for if you have an Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. Because it's a tested game, there's no real major bugs for either of them, other than, of course, the drum sensitivity issue. And frankly, the game is built more inclined towards those two specific systems. So it's a matter of what is a standard, what has been true, what has been used before, and it's just upgraded to improve it ever so slightly this next generation. Or you can get the first time out Guitar Hero World Tour and take your chances. That's really how it's going right now. If you have a Wii, or a PlayStation 2, matter of fact, you want Guitar Hero World Tour because it has more features in the long run. But again, still the same sensitivity issues and whatnot. And keep in mind, the PlayStation 2 players, they can't play internet. There's no internet connectivity whatever. So that's your choices between those two games there. Both games are highly rated. Both games are well-known rights. But if you don't want to take a chance, Rock Band 2 is a safe bet for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 owners. Otherwise, it's Guitar Hero World Tour for the Wii and PlayStation 2. Now onto Rock Revolution. A lot of people are either fans of Guitar Hero or fans of Rock Band and totally destroy any game that isn't one or the other. Well, Rock Revolution, while a large chunk of it is covers, they're actually very good. And the ones that are actually artists, they're great. It's just a matter of how biased you are towards one game or another. The game is worth the purchase. It's only $40, and it has multiple instrument compatibility, so you can essentially play for any instrument for any other game, and voila. And the game originally doesn't come out with an instrument, but in later release will be able to be released with a drum set, which is exclusive to the game. So it's worth a try. It has downloadable content online features as well. It has better graphics overall, as far as the characters are concerned, but for any background imagery and stuff, not so great. But really, are you playing it for the music or playing it for the pictures? Wii Music, by the guy who created Mario. This is his baby. This is basically taking the nunchuck and the Wiimote and playing different instruments with them. It's basically air guitar. And I should mention, while we're speaking about air guitar and air drums, if you buy a Rock Revolution for the Wii, that's what you get. So it's best if you just purchase Wii Music, which numbers of instruments upon instruments, but the content is public access type music and Nintendo themes. So if you're into that stuff, then go ahead. If you like to make your own songs, you can do that in that too. And every so often, new instruments are unlocked. So you could play orchestral instruments, band instruments. You can play guitar and drums. So, I mean, those are your choices there. Now, it's sad only Guitar Hero and Rock Band 2, or any Rock Band game for that matter, have instruments, but the Wii is heavily reliant on those instruments having some type of Wii-only adaptive thing, that they're not cross-compatible and whatnot. I should mention that Rock Band 2 is going to be cross-compatible to the Guitar Hero games. The guitar at least will be. That's according to Neversoft. Yeah, that's from their own mouth. The Guitar Hero is not reverse compatible. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it. I have to assume that they add an extra toggle on the adapter or whatever, because if you own the Rock Band 1 guitar, you know it has an adapter and receiver, you know, between the guitar and the USB port which you plug it into, and perhaps they found another way around it, which would be awesome. But because Guitar Hero has relied on the Wii Remote and Rock Band has not, that's normally, and that is the big reason why there's no cross compatibility. So let's just break it down here. If you have a PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and only can get one game this holiday season, get Rock Band 2. If you only have a Wii or PlayStation 2 and you only can get one game this season, you're torn. I say if you want instruments, you go for Guitar Hero World Tour. Now, if you're a Wii player and you have a choice between Rock Revolution and Wii Music, get Wii Music. But those others who don't have a choice, obviously Rock Revolution is worth some coin. The music, I think the music's very good. There's no sense in being biased. I know many people are, but it never hurts to try something once. It's $40. It's $1.25 a song for Rock Revolution. And you'll like it. I liked it. And I'm a critic. So thanks for listening. And go and shop.
To read more in relation to what was covered in this segment, previews, reviews and other game-related articles, log on to www.haslage.net.